We're back for another episode and another deep dive. Let's get ready.
Okay, so last week we were talking about AI making videos, right?
Right.
But now I'm hearing about AI influencers,
Yeah.
like actual digital people
Mm.
on social media
Mhm.
promoting stuff.
Yep.
Is this for real?
It is.
Like the future of marketing? Or are we all just going to be like following bots soon?
It really is remarkable how AI is changing everything,
Right.
in marketing, and often in ways that people don't even realize.
Yeah.
AI-generated influencers are definitely a hot topic.
Okay.
What I found particularly interesting is how they operate.
Right.
They're designed to mimic human influencers in almost every way,
Mm-hmm.
from posting content and endorsing products to interacting with followers.
Yeah.
But the level of control and scalability they offer brands,
Right.
that's something you just can't get with real people.
Okay, I am definitely intrigued.
Yeah.
Let's break this down.
Okay.
What exactly is an AI influencer?
So,
Are we talking like incredibly realistic avatars? Or are they more stylized?
yeah.
Like cartoonish characters?
Yeah.
And then how do they actually like work?
You have a wide spectrum.
Okay.
Some, like Lil Miquela,
Mm-hmm.
are incredibly realistic, almost to the point of being unsettling.
Oh, wow.
Then you have others like Brazil's Ludo Magalu, who is more of a 3D character,
Okay.
but still insanely popular.
Gotcha.
And it's not just the look.
Right.
Each has a meticulously crafted personality, backstory, even a carefully curated style.
Wow.
Think of it as a team of creative agencies, AI specialists, and marketers all working together to bring these digital personalities to life.
So it's not just like slapping on a pretty face and letting the bot loose.
Right.
There's like serious strategy behind this.
Yeah, there's strategy behind these AI influencers.
So it's like building a brand from scratch, but for like a digital person.
Exactly. Take, for example, Aitana Lopez. She's a virtual influencer who partnered with a hair salon, Longueiras. Pictures of a fresh haircut. Check. A whole trip to the salon documented. Double check. But it was all fabricated to create buzz and engagement.
Oh, wow.
It's fascinating to see how brands are leveraging these digital creations to tell stories and connect with audiences in a completely new way.
Okay, but can these like virtual personalities really connect with people the way human influencers can? Do they have like that authenticity and influence, or is it all just like smoke and mirrors?
That's the million-dollar question. And
Yeah.
honestly, the answer is complex.
Okay.
There's a lot of debate about whether AI influencers can truly replicate human connection and build genuine trust with audiences.
Mm-hmm.
Some argue that their lack of lived experiences and manufactured personalities make them less believable.
Right. It's like, how can you trust someone who's never actually lived?
Exactly. But here's the thing. Research suggests that almost half of social media users are actually open to following AI influencers. Yeah. And some brands are seeing serious success with their campaigns.
Okay, so people are actually into this. I'm
Yeah.
surprised.
Yeah.
Are there any examples of these like AI influencer campaigns that really like hit it out of the park?
Well, H&M saw an 11x increase in ad recall when they featured an AI influencer named Cookie in one of their campaigns.
Okay.
That's a massive jump, and it shows that AI influencers can definitely grab attention and make an impact.
11 times. That's insane.
It's a lot.
I'm starting to see the appeal for brands.
Yeah,
But what about the flip side?
yeah.
Are there any like risks or downsides to using AI influencers?
Transparency is a big one.
Okay.
Audiences need to know who or what they're interacting with.
Right.
The FTC has guidelines for disclosing AI-generated content, and platforms like TikTok and Instagram are implementing labeling requirements.
Okay.
It's about being upfront and honest to maintain ethical standards.
Okay, so honesty is the best policy, even in the digital world. Got it. But let's say I'm a brand, and I'm like totally on board with this AI influencer thing. What are like the biggest advantages?
Control is a major one.
Yep.
Brands can literally script every word, curate every outfit, and ensure the AI influencer perfectly embodies their brand image.
Okay.
No more worrying about scandals, off-brand opinions, or contract breaches.
So it's like having the perfect spokesperson.
Right.
Who's always on message.
Yep.
And what else?
Adaptability is another huge plus.
Okay.
Think about it. These AI personalities can be ageless, multilingual, and can literally teleport to any location for a campaign.
Oh, wow.
They can seamlessly adapt to different cultures and demographics, which is a huge advantage in today's global market.
Wow, it's like having a global team of influencers all rolled into one. Are human influencers going to be out of a job soon?
Not necessarily. There are still things AI influencers can't replicate, like genuine human experiences and that raw, unfiltered relatability. But I do think AI has the potential to fundamentally change the influencer marketing landscape.
Okay.
We're already seeing the emergence of AI-powered tools that can analyze massive amounts of data to help brands find the perfect human influencer for their campaigns.
So AI isn't replacing human influencers. It's like helping us find the best ones. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's helping.
What are some of these, like, tools?
Companies like Dialogue NYC are doing amazing work in this area.
Okay.
They're building databases that consider aesthetics, values, and all sorts of data points to match brands with influencers who are a perfect fit.
Wow.
And agencies like Captive 8 are developing AI tools to help manage campaigns, personalize content, and analyze data for better results.
That's like AI is giving influencer marketing a major upgrade. So it's not a question of human versus AI. It's about using the strengths of both to create more impactful campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
But let's be real. There have to be some challenges or downsides for brands considering AI influencers, right? What are those?
Well, we already touched on authenticity, which is a big one.
Yeah.
There's also the risk of falling into the uncanny valley, that creepy feeling you get when something looks almost human, but not quite.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen some AI creations that definitely fall into that uncanny valley.
Yeah.
It can be pretty off-putting.
For sure.
What else?
There's also the issue of regulation.
Okay.
The field is evolving so rapidly, and the laws are struggling to keep up.
Right.
The EU is working on the AI Act,
Okay.
and Biden just signed an executive order on AI.
Oh,
Both mandate disclosure of AI-generated content, which is a good first step.
okay.
But as these AI influencers become more sophisticated, we're going to need even more robust regulations to ensure they're used responsibly.
So it sounds like it's still a bit of a Wild West out there.
It is.
Brands need to be, like, really careful and do their due diligence before jumping on, like, the AI influencer bandwagon.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not a decision to be taken lightly.
Right.
There's a lot to consider, from the ethical implications to the legal complexities.
Well, it definitely sounds like AI influencers are a powerful tool with massive potential, but also some serious challenges that brands need to be aware of. It's not as simple as just, like, creating a cool avatar and watching the likes roll in.
Right.
Before we get into the different types of AI influencers and, like, how they're being used, let's rewind to last week's episode where we discussed AI-powered video creation tools.
Right.
What stood out to you from that conversation?
The sheer speed at which this technology is advancing is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Last week, we were amazed by tools like Heijin that can create realistic videos from text.
Right.
Now we're talking about AI generating entire personas with their own unique style and voice. It's incredible.
It really is. And remember how we talked about AI, like democratizing video creation, making it accessible to anyone?
Yeah.
Well, AI influencers are kind of doing the same thing for influencer marketing.
Totally.
Smaller brands and even, like, individuals can leverage this technology without, like, breaking the bank.
Right.
It's opening up, like, a whole new world of possibilities.
That's a great point. And it makes you wonder how this is going to impact the creator economy. Will we see a rise in virtual agencies that specialize in managing these AI influencers? Will traditional influencer agencies need to adapt their strategies to stay relevant?
Right.
It's definitely going to be interesting to see how it all plays out.
I can't wait to see what the future holds.
Me too.
It sounds like we're entering a whole new era of influencer marketing.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fascinating to see how it all unfolds.
Absolutely. It really is a fascinating landscape that's constantly evolving.
Right.
AI influencers are popping up in industries you might not expect.
Great.
Like finance.
And even healthcare.
Really?
Yeah.
Finance. That seems like a strange fit for a digital influencer.
Yeah.
I mean, who wants financial advice from, like, a bot?
Well, it's not so much about giving advice
Okay.
as it is about making a complex financial concept's more approachable.
Okay.
But especially for younger audiences.
Okay, yeah.
Imagine an AI influencer who breaks down investing, budgeting, or even cryptocurrency in a fun, engaging way. It's like having a financial guru who's also a social media star.
Yeah.
Way more relatable than a stuffy old banker.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. It could definitely help make those topics less intimidating
Yeah.
for people who are just starting out. But I do wonder about potential bias.
Right.
If these AI influencers are created by companies, couldn't they subtly push certain products or services?
That's a valid point. Transparency is crucial, especially when it comes to something as sensitive as finance.
Yeah.
Audiences need to know who's behind the AI influencer and what their motivations are.
Right. Are they genuinely trying to educate, or is it just another, marketing ploy?
It's like the age-old question, can you trust someone who's trying to sell you something?
Exactly. Clear disclosure and labeling are super important so consumers can make informed decisions.
Yep.
They need to know if they're interacting with a real person or an AI and who's ultimately profiting from that interaction.
Got it. So finance is one unexpected area. What about healthcare? You mentioned that earlier.
Right.
How are AI influencers making their way into that world?
Think about it. There's a huge need for accurate and easy to understand health information,
Right.
especially online,
Yeah.
where there's so much misinformation.
So much.
AI influencers could potentially help bridge that gap.
So we're talking about AI doctors now.
Yeah.
Diagnosing people online.
Not quite, but imagine an AI influencer specializing in a particular health condition like diabetes or mental health.
Yeah.
They could create content that's informative and supportive, helping people understand their condition and manage their symptoms. They could even connect people with relevant resources and support groups.
That could be really helpful
Yeah.
for people who might feel isolated or overwhelmed by their health condition.
Right.
It's like having a friendly, knowledgeable companion
Yeah.
who's always there to answer your questions and
Yeah.
point you in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
But again, how do you ensure the information these AI influencers are sharing is accurate
Yeah.
and reliable?
That's the million-dollar question, and that's why it's so important for healthcare professionals to be involved
Okay.
in the development and oversight of these AI influencers.
Yeah.
You need experts to make sure the information is evidence-based and aligned with medical best practices.
It's not just about creating a cool-looking avatar and giving it a script.
Right.
There's a huge responsibility that comes with it,
Yeah, there is.
especially when people's health and well-being are at stake.
Absolutely. And it's important to remember that this applies to AI influencers in any industry.
Right.
But healthcare is particularly sensitive given the potential impact on people's lives.
It's amazing to think about all the ways AI influencers are being used. It seems like they can be molded to fit any industry, any message, any persona.
Yeah.
It's both incredibly cool and kind of scary at the same time.
It is fascinating.
Yeah.
It's like we're creating a whole new species of digital beings.
Right.
And it's up to us to decide what role they'll play in our society. Will they be our friends, our educators, our salespeople, maybe a bit everything?
So many possibilities. It's wild to think about where this technology could take us. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about what AI influencers are, how they work, and the potential benefits and challenges for brands. We've even explored some unexpected applications in finance and healthcare. What are some of the key takeaways you think our listeners should be thinking about as they consider this rapidly evolving landscape?
The biggest takeaway is that AI influencers are not just a passing trend. They're a powerful tool that's here to stay.
Right.
And is likely to have a profound impact on how we communicate and consume information.
For sure. And as marketers, we need to be aware of the potential of AI influencers and be mindful of the pitfalls. We need to be transparent with our audiences, use these tools responsibly, and make sure we're creating genuine value
Yeah.
and not just adding to the noise.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So even with all these advancements in AI, it sounds like human creativity and critical thinking are more important than ever.
Right. Absolutely. We need to guide the technology, set the boundaries, and ensure AI is used to enhance human connection and empower individuals.
That's reassuring and a call to action at the same time.
Oh.
It sounds like we all have a part to play in shaping the future of AI. But before we get too deep into existential questions, let's shift gears
Okay.
and get a bit more practical. I'm curious about the nuts and bolts of creating an AI influencer.
Yeah.
What does that process actually look like?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
It's actually a lot more involved than you might think.
Okay.
It's not just a matter of slapping a pretty face on an algorithm.
Right.
There's a whole team of people involved, designers, developers, writers, marketers. It's a real collaborative effort.
So let's break it down. What are the key steps involved in bringing an AI influencer to life?
It all starts with defining the persona. Who is this AI influencer? What are they all about? What do they look like? What's their personality, their values? What's their backstory?
So it's like creating a character for a movie
Yeah.
or a book. But in this case, it's a digital character who will be interacting with real people on social media.
Exactly. And getting this right is crucial.
Yeah.
It sets the foundation for everything else that follows.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So once you've got the persona nailed down, what's next?
Then comes the visual design.
Okay.
This is where you bring the character to life visually
Okay.
using tools like CGI, motion capture, and even generative AI.
So are we talking about hiring Hollywood level special effects artists to create these AI influencers?
It can definitely get pretty high tech.
Yeah.
And as technology advances, we're seeing more and more realistic and sophisticated AI influencers emerging.
Wow.
It's pretty mind-blowing.
It really is.
Yeah.
But visuals are only one part of the equation, right?
Yeah.
What about their voice
Yeah.
and the way they communicate?
Right.
How do you make them sound authentic and engaging?
That's where AI and human writers work together. AI can generate text and speech that's consistent with the persona,
Right.
but it often needs that human touch
Yeah.
to make it sound truly natural and engaging.
So it's a collaboration
It is.
between human creativity and AI capabilities, kind of like a digital duet.
Exactly. It's about finding the right balance. You want the AI influencer to sound relatable, but you don't want them to sound too human, or it can veer into that uncanny valley territory.
Right. We definitely want to avoid the creep factor. So you've got the look, the voice, the personality all figured out. How do you actually get this AI influencer out into the world and start building a following?
That's where the marketing strategy comes in. Just like with human influencers, it's about creating engaging content, building a community, and using social media platforms effectively.
So are we talking about buying followers
Yeah,
and fake engagement? Is that even ethical?
definitely not. It's about applying the same marketing principles that work for human influencers,
Okay.
but adapting them to the unique characteristics of AI.
Right.
Think content strategy, social media management, influencer marketing platforms. It's a whole new set of opportunities and challenges for marketers, and it's evolving super fast.
So AI is shaking up the influencer marketing game in a big way.
Yeah.
I'm really curious to hear more about the specific strategies and tools that brands are using to promote these AI influencers. All right, so we've talked about what AI influencers are, how they work, and even how they're being used in industries like finance and healthcare.
Right.
Now I want to get into the nitty-gritty
Yeah.
of marketing these digital personalities.
Okay.
How are brands using AI influencers to reach new audiences? And what kind of strategies are actually working?
It all boils down to finding the right match between the AI influencer's persona
Right.
and the brand's target audience. You
Okay.
have to make sure their values, style, and content align with the brand's message
Right.
and resonate with the people they're trying to reach.
That makes perfect sense. It's like casting an actor for a role. You wouldn't hire a tough guy action star to promote a line of luxury skincare products, would you?
Exactly. And the amazing thing about AI influencers is that they can be so precisely tailored to fit specific niches and demographics.
Wow.
You can essentially create the ideal customer for your brand in digital form.
That's incredibly powerful. So are there any brands out there who are really nailing this? Any campaigns that stand out as particularly effective?
We talked about H&M's campaign with Cookie, which saw an incredible 11x increase in ad recall.
Right.
That's a prime example of how an AI influencer can grab attention and generate buzz. Another great example is Emma,
Okay.
the Japanese AI influencer known for her edgy style and fashion collaborations.
Okay.
She's partnered with major brands like Dior and Nike, and she even has her own fashion line.
Wait, hold up. Her own fashion line. So AI influencers can launch their own brands now.
They can.
That's taking things to a whole new level.
It really is. It shows how these virtual personalities are becoming more than just marketing tools. They're evolving into brands themselves with their own unique identities and influence.
It's like mind-blowing how the lines between like reality and the digital world are like blurring.
It really is.
So let's talk like tactics.
Okay.
What are some specific marketing strategies that brands are using to promote these AI influencers?
A lot of the strategies that work for human influencers apply here too.
Okay.
Creating engaging content, building a community, and using social media platforms effectively are all key.
Right.
But AI influencers offer some unique opportunities as well.
Like what?
Well, for one thing, they can create content at scale and in multiple languages. Imagine being able to instantly translate and dub your influencers' videos into different languages without losing their unique voice and style.
Right.
That opens up huge possibilities for global reach.
Wow. That changes everything.
It does.
No more need for like expensive voiceover artists or localization teams.
Right.
It's like having a universal influencer.
Yep.
Who can speak to anyone, anywhere.
Exactly. And because AI influencers are digital, they can also appear in multiple places at once.
Oh, wow.
They can be on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and even in virtual worlds or metaverse experiences all at the same time.
So they're not like limited by the constraints of time and space like human influencers.
Exactly.
That's incredibly powerful.
It is.
But like, how do you measure their effectiveness? Are the usual metrics like engagement and reach still relevant for AI influencers?
Absolutely. You still need to track followers, likes, comments, shares, and website traffic. But there are also some new metrics that are becoming increasingly important, like sentiment analysis.
Sentiment analysis, what's that?
It's a way of using AI to analyze the emotional tone of people's comments and reactions to an influencer's content. It helps you understand how people feel about the influencer and the brand they're promoting.
So it's like taking the pulse of the audience and seeing if they're like vibing with the AI influencer's message.
Precisely. And it's becoming crucial as brands navigate the nuances of AI influencers.
Okay.
They need to ensure they're not coming across as inauthentic or unsettling.
Right. We want to like steer clear of that uncanny valley.
Exactly.
So it sounds like brands really have to like step up their game when it comes to using AI influencers effectively.
Yeah.
It's not as simple as just like creating a cool avatar and letting it loose on social media.
You hit the nail on the head. It requires a deep understanding of the technology, the target audience, and the potential challenges. It's a new frontier of marketing, and it's going to be incredibly exciting to see how it all evolves.
I have to admit, I'm still like wrapping my head around this whole AI influencer thing, but I'm also like really intrigued by the possibility. It's definitely something I'll be watching closely.
I think that's the perfect approach.
Yeah.
Healthy skepticism combined with open-mindedness. Because one thing's for sure, AI influencers are here to stay, and they're going to continue shaping the future of marketing in ways we can only begin to imagine.
Well, that's both exciting and a little daunting. So to wrap things up, what's the one big question you think our listeners should be pondering as they leave this deep dive?
The most important question is this. How do we ensure that AI influencers are used to enhance human connection and creativity, rather than replace or exploit them? It's a question that goes beyond marketing and touches on the very essence of what it means to be human in an increasingly digital world.
That's a powerful question to leave us with. It reminds us that as much as AI is changing the world, it's ultimately up to us, the humans, to guide its development and use it for good. So as all our listeners out there, stay informed, stay curious, and keep asking those tough questions. And as always, thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.
That's it for this episode. If you've enjoyed today's deep dive, don't forget to hit the follow or subscribe button. Until the next episode, keep innovating, keep growing, and keep marketing deeply.